Howdy fellas, you're watching episode 4 of Crossout Tutorials. Previously on Crossout Tutorials, we covered the in-game crafting system and market. You should have enough parts to build something more substantial by now. Now, let's hit that garage tab and get comfy. So, for now you can only build a ride consisting of a total of 20 parts. But this value will increase as you level up your character. Okay, so the frame is the base for any ride in the game. This is where it all begins. Make a base for a vehicle out of 2 or 3 4x4 size frames. This is a bare minimum that we will use to build a ride. Now, let's switch to the augmented reality grid. Press the F key by default. This mode will highlight all welding points, demonstrating where exactly you can mount stuff so they don't collide with each other in any way. This should help you understand what you want to build next. Stage 2 is mounting a cabin. If you saw our previous videos, you should already know that the cabin will provide your vehicle with the bulk of its structure points. Carefully consider the cabin and its stats. Various types offer different tonnage, speed, and energy generation. The latter will define how many energy-consuming parts your vehicle can carry into battle. Just like we said before, the energy is consumed by weapons and utility equipment. When building your ride, you must understand how exactly this machine is going to fight in battle. You can concentrate on making it faster, or better armored, or better armed, perhaps armed for close-range combat, and so on. Or you can make it a jack-of-all-trades kind of vehicle. But remember that a universal-type ride is most likely to lose to a more specialized build in some particular aspect. Don't forget that your ride's power score will be used for multiplayer matchmaking. Power score, again, is seriously affected by your cabin, weapons, and utility gear. Some power score can be added via frames, wheels, connecting parts, or decor. Early on in game, you won't have enough parts to build a tank, of course, but remember that every part affects your ride's performance. Don't hesitate to test drive your build extensively and check if no parts gets in the way of your weapons, whether the ride is tough enough, and if you're satisfied with its mobility and speed and such. Once you have your cabin installed, it's time to select your wheels. If you get carried away too much when decorating your ride, you might run outside part limit or physical space of the vehicle, and you will have to reassemble your ride. Always remember to mount some steerable ST wheels. You get 2 by default, by the way. If you wish, you can install just those to add some extra turning ability to your ride, but it might prove too much for some players. In our opinion, such option is better suited for heavily armored rides, not small and fast vehicles. A stationary vehicle is a dead vehicle, so don't hesitate to put some extra wheels into your machine. 3 pairs of wheels is a bare minimum, but it will never hurt to have a few extra sets. Later on, you will be able to change from wheels to tank tracks or mechanical legs, but that might take some time. Another option to save your mobility is to add some armor. Narrow frames can help you conceal your wheels amongst other parts of your ride, which in turn will make your ride less stable during high-speed turns. Anyway, losing some control is better than losing all mobility in combat. Good. It's time to add some utility gear. Don't go crazy here. You must consider exactly what you will need. But some of your basic rides can benefit from a jack. This can be used to put your vehicle back into its wheels if it turns over. A radar. It will increase your detection range. A fuel drum will help you collect extra fuel for raids, which we'll take a closer look at later. A radiator or a heatsink will help your weapon stay cooler and firing for longer in battle. You can also install an engine or a rocket booster to make your ride faster, or a generator to add some more energy to your power-hungry machine. An ammo crate will expand the ammo reserve for some of your guns, while a radio will transmit enemy locations to your teammates across a greater range. Besides the obvious limitation of energy consumption, you should also consider one more thing. Never put your engine generator, or fuel drum in front of your ride, since they're very prone to explode when hit by enemy fire. If you move these parts to the back of your machine, you will seriously lessen the chances of that happening. It's time to think armor and protection. Two key stats for armor pieces are weight and structure points. Use that armor to protect utility gear first, then the sides of your cabin and all volatile equipment, such as your generator and fuel drums. Don't forget your engine either. The final stage of building your ride is installing weaponry. For your basic ride, you're going to use machine guns, shotguns, and cannons. In the future, your arsenal will be expanded by power drills, missile systems, and even flamethrowers. All weapons differ greatly from each other. Aside from energy consumption, you must consider every weapon's effective range, damage output, rate of fire, and overheat rate. You can install a limited number of weapons, meaning that you will have to carefully select whether to go for a bunch of weak guns, a couple of powerful ones, or maybe, if you would like to combine something with a punch and something for self-defense. Whatever you choose is up to you. It is also important to be aware of your gun's rotation and whether your particular build allows for maximum possible fire coverage. For example, a cannon can easily engage targets at medium and long ranges, firing from the roof of your machine, but will perform poorly at close range. So a close-range weapon like a shotgun will serve better if mounted closer to the ground. Try mounting one in your hood, trunk, or at the side of your vehicle. You would do well to remember that all guns are fragile, so adding some armor around your weapons is not a bad idea. Sometimes it is better to shoot off the part that holds the gun. Enable the augmented reality grid and make sure that your gun sits atop several parts at once. Then, your enemy will have to spend precious time and aim hard to destroy several parts to disable your weapon. Oh yes, don't forget to leave some opening for your guns to shoot through, should you decide to cover them with armor. Congratulations! Now you know how to build a decent ride for battles in the wastes, but you still have much to learn to survive. Expect new episodes where we will discuss mission types and advanced rewards. Sometime later, we will also talk about some really advanced vehicle building techniques. Please don't forget that Crossout is still being tested and some of the gameplay elements might change. Don't hesitate to leave your questions in the comments, the best of which we will answer in future videos. Oh well, it's time for me to run. See ya!